Good evening, everybody. Welcome back for AF3 Round 4. We are at the midway point of the season, and we're in Canada for a return to Mosport. First time we've been to this track in 2 seasons. We last raced here in the Audi TT Cup car, and we're going to get into qualifying right away. Ali Yardimdrift, first one out of the pits for qualifying, so we'll go on board with him. He was looking really good in practice. He was towards the front of the grid with one of the River Racing drivers. Ali's teammate Polaris Motorsports was looking really good also. And see how they do. Looking for qualifying times around high 121s, low 122s to get you onto that front row, near the front row. Come around the last corner for the start of the lap. 125 on an outlap. Man, he sure wasn't trying to save his tires there. Come over the hill into Clayton Corner. Nice little off-camber turn here. Ooh, looks mighty understeery through there. Probably gonna want to tidy that line up a bit on his next lap. Into Moss, this is probably the hardest corner on the track. Cuts in way too early, hits that inside curve. That's not going to help him out at all. Probably be a throwaway lap for him. Onto the Andretti straightaway. Longest straight on the track. Into the S's part of the track now, coming around. This is the penultimate corner, last corner. Cut in nice inside, work all the way out to the outside curb using all of the track. And coming across the line with a 122.9. That's well off of his best pace. Ali's teammate goes 122.6, puts it on provisional pole for Polaris Motorsports. Thomas Cameron comes in at a 125. He's going to want to improve on that. Go on board with Josh as he's finishing his lap up, coming through the S's in the Great River Racing car. Will gets a little slidey there on the penultimate corner. Ooh, looks like he got a little off there in the dirt. That probably didn't help him out much. 123.3 to P7. There's Baruden going into Moss. Ooh, that's going to be an off track there. Surely that's track limits. He wasn't even on the curb on the outside there. Joey Cano coming off the Clayton corner. We do a little promoting for great causes around here. Save the oceans. Oh, that looked nice and tidy through there. Didn't cut across early like most people, and surely kept it all the way on the track. Through the S's now, coming up to the last corner. Nice and tidy through here. Keeps it out of the dirt on the outside there. Run down to the line. With a 123, that'll keep him P14 for now. Josh Brooks improves to a 122, putting him into the top 5. Go on board with Martin Beauty. He comes down the Andretti straight. He looks like he's chasing down Ali in the Polaris Motorsports car here. Might be a car between them, it looks like. Through the S's, nice and clean. It's a little bit of that inside curb. Probably puts him a little off position for this last corner. Understeering. Oh. Oof. Throws it away in the last corner. That's not gonna help. Don't think Diego's gonna like that either. See if Penguin can improve on his lap time to put it on provisional pole. Penguin running the special livery he designed for his charity stream coming up for the British Heart Foundation. He'll be driving the Nürburgring Nordschleife for about 6 hours. It's listed for a 1,000 kilometer event. If you want to get involved in that, you can check out our Discord for that. Go on board here with Jack Olivier in the Maca Racing car. Nice tidy line through the last corner. Goes 122.7. We'll net him a P5 spot for now. Looks like Propofal's had an off-track incident. He's teleported back to pits. Jack Olivier with the run down to Moss corner here. Like I said, this is probably the, ooh, looks like he's just going to throw that lap away. Thank you, Notbacker, for subscribing. Oh, that's so sweet of you. You can heart all you want, but it's not going to help the fact that my internet is not agreeing with trying to stream. I did remember to turn my VPN off this time, though, so hopefully it's slightly better. We'll have to look at some settings after this and see if maybe I can improve these frame rate issues. Looks like Josh Brooks just started a flying lap through T1. And I remember from racing this track that the track limits there on the outside of T1 were very forgiving, so you could get out there and not invalidate your lap. Running down the Clayton corner now. A lot of drivers struggling with this track, sliding about. They were complaining a lot about understeering during the practice sessions, so probably see a good number of drivers understeering into each other in some of these tighter corners. Josh has a really tidy line through Moss corner there and gets a good run out onto the Andretti straightaway. Coming up to the last corner now. Gets a decent run out of there. Doesn't put it in the dirt this time. 122.6 will put him provisionally fourth. He did a 121.9 in practice, so I'm sure that's what he's looking for. Go on board with Ali as he finishes his lap, and he's hoping to improve. Maybe put a Polaris Motorsport on the front row lockout. He'll do a 122.9. That will not improve his time. Cutting way down there on the inside of the track. Track limit's very forgiving there. Very, very forgiving. Yeah, this is a nice tidy line through Clayton, and we'll get a good run down to Moss, which is probably the heaviest braking zone on this track, running into Moss. Luckily, it's got that nice uphill though to help slow the car down more. Out onto the Andretti straight. Through the S's now. He's going to try and keep this real tidy through here. On the front straight with the run to the line. The 1:22.8 again does not improve. Will stay P5. Go on board with Jens in the River Racing car. See if he can improve from P9. Maybe get up there with his teammate. Have an all River Racing Road 2. He will not improve. On board now with Jack Olivier again in the Macca Racing car. As he comes through Clayton Corner, looking to improve, put his car on the front row, put his team on the front row. Macca Racing has looked quite strong in multiple leagues as of late. And he will abort that lap. We'll go on board with Eppley. He's trying to improve from 15th. Not the position he wants to be in right now. Could be a very strategic position to be in at the end of race 1 though. P15 will be the reverse grid pole sitter, and they have historically done very well in AF3 when you're on the reverse grid pole. Tend to run off the front and not get caught. Understeering there into the last corner. So he's going to run to the line, looking to improve. He does not. He stays 15th. Don't know if Ali Yardimch is on a flying lap here, but I know he's looking to improve. I know he's got the pace to improve. He was the second fastest car in practice to Josh Brooks, and both of them are 2/10 off of their personal bests. Ali did a 1:22.0 and Josh Brooks did that 1:21.9 right at the tail end of practice. I'm sure he's trying to replicate that lap. Josh Brooks is actually right behind Ali here, so he'll be chasing him down trying to improve that lap. As Alec comes through the last corner, see if he's setting the lap time here, or if he's just getting ready to start his flying lap. Looks like he's just starting the flying lap. That or he did not improve. Checking on Josh. As he's finishing his, will not improve, will stay P5. Jack Olivier sitting in the pits will clearly not improve from P3. It looks like he's okay with that position. Sitting by hoping nobody improves on him. Our provisional pole sitter starting his last flying lap. Through Clayton. Nice and tidy through there. Several people finishing up. Checking in. Josh Brooks is on the Andretti straightaway for his last flying lap. Polybius right in front of him. We'll see how these two finish out. I know they're both looking to improve, get onto the front row. Polybius comes through the last corner now. He will run it to the line and will not improve. Will stay P7. Josh Brooks is running into the line now. Is also... Oh, he does improve. He improves to P5, putting himself just in front of Zhao. His Beauty comes through the last corner now, looking to improve from P9. He's not going to. Is not going to. Randomize. Does improve. Randomize takes it from 16th, puts himself 14th. He will surely like that position. Varudin puts his car P20. And that will wrap up qualifying for Mosport. Diego puts Polaris Motorsports on pole with a time of 1:22.9. Very close for Pengu Quinn, who will start next to him on the front row in the British Heart Foundation charity car. And Jack Olivier also less than 1/10 off the pole time. For Maka Racing, will start P3. Very exciting qualifying session there. River Racing does get both of their cars right next to each other, so they'll be working to pull some teamwork to get up to the front and maybe even run away with it. And we're under the track. As you can see here, the grid very spread out. Doesn't even actually fit on the front straightaway. So some of those guys will be less than pleased about their starting position. Starting P1 again, Diego. P2, Pengu Quinn. P3, Jack Olivier. 4, Jens Beetsma. 5, his teammate at River Racing, Josh Brooks. 6, Zhao. 7, Ali Yardinger. 8, Nemanja Popovic. 9, Martin Beauty. 10, his teammate, Togua Patobo. 11 is By Mythic in the Maka Racing car. 12, Vivols. 14 V Propofol. 13 to Randomize. Some of these numbers are clearly mixed up. Kano. The next row will be Eppley and Mixtrol, followed by Miguel Costa and Honored Goat. Vessel Varudin and Thomas Cameron. Mario Fonseca and Mosquito. And then rounding out the back of the field will be Fullinix. I have no clue how long until this race starts. Lights up now. We will be getting underway shortly. 6 lights. And we are racing at Mosport for round 4. When this is done, it'll be the halfway point of the season. Diego gets away cleanly, will stay in front of Penguin into turn 1. All drivers driving very, very cautiously through the first turn. Looks like we're going to get away with a clean start. Get back to the action. Had to remove the car from the grid. Wouldn't want to pull a Matty and leave the car on the grid as the racers come by on the at the end of the first lap. Not a whole lot of moves so far. Fulinix up a few positions. Ooh, somebody goes way off. And that's going to be Honored Goat, who has a big off at, I believe, Moss Corner. Mosquito and Mick Stroll mixing it up here. And we'll go back to the front. We'll watch this battle unfold. Penguin staying really close there to Diego, trying to get around for that P1 spot. Looks like Beauty's had an incident in the penultimate corner. We'll drop a few places there. He's pretty good at recovery drives. He will probably move himself back up and aim for a good spot on that reverse grid start. Top 5 really settling in here. Looks like Josh Brooks had a bit of a bad lap. He lost, I believe, 3 places on the opening lap of that race. So he'll be looking to get some of those back. As all of our top 5 make it cleanly through Moss. And they'll be on to the Andretti straight. Beauty already making moves to get back up into where he wants to be. He will probably continue to improve, but as it stands now, he will be on pole for race 2. Oh, and Togua Patobo sending a very brave move on the inside of Josh Brooks there into the S's. Looks like he will keep that position as Diego Domingo sets fastest lap with a 1:23.2. Togua taking extra liberties there with the track limits as a Maka racing car, I believe that was, went way off into Clayton corner. That's not the line through there. It's not going to help him at all. Jens Beetsma is locked in a current battle with Zhao for P4. Jens will keep that position. Vivels has had a incident at T1 that's dropped him off the back of the field. Togua Patobo, who last time around sent a spirited move up the inside on Josh Brooks and made that stick, will now be chasing down Ali Yadimger in the Polaris Motorsports car. A little too far back this time to send a move. Him and Josh did do a bit of battling this time, so he'll have to gain some time back on the guys in front before he can make a move. We do have a nice 3-way battle going here for P4 as Nemanja Popovic has been able to catch up due to Zhao and Jens battling, as Zhao has a slight bit of loss of traction there due to that inside curb on that corner. As Ali Yadimger looks to make this a 4-way battle for position. Will concede temporarily the inside line to Nemanja. And Diego Domingo has stretched his lead to 0.8 of a second over Penguin. looking to solidify his place with a win in race 1. Martin Beauty, who dropped as low as 17th, is currently P12. Like I said, he's a great recovery driver, was probably going to make some good moves. 12 puts him at a good spot, too, for the reverse grid race. He'll probably improve 1 or 2 more positions as he continues this race. Josh Brooks all over the back of Tagua Patobo. He's going to be looking to send a move here shortly. Probably just waiting for Tagua to make some kind of mistake that he can capitalize on. Not one to send unnecessary moves that put extra risk on him. As they were side by side there temporarily. Into Moss corner. No mistakes through here for any of our leaders, our front pack, as it were. Penguin catching up slightly. He's got that gap from 8/10 down to 5. And Jack Olivier now within 1 second. And there is the mistake. There is the move. Tagua Patobo just hitting the inside curb there, throwing the car off balance, having to go extra slow through there, and Josh Brooks will capitalize and keep that position. Fulinix, who started last, is now P11 and getting ready to lap Propofol. And in contention here to try and get into the top 10 as we reach the halfway point in this race. Started 25th, P11. That is a heck of a drive from Fulinix. Go on board Penguin here. Still got Diego in his sights, but Diego has now stretched this gap from half a second all the way out to 1.2 seconds. Penguin doing anything he can to try and catch some kind of draft. And Jack Olivier on the outside of Penguin there. Looking to do a switchback on him for P2. Will be on the outside of this corner, but will get an inside line through the last corner. Oh, and a little bit of a bonk there. Penguin is not going to like that. Pushed off the line there. Must say, I think Jack Olivier probably had a little more room on the inside there, but as stated earlier, these cars are a bit understeery, and might have been what we saw there, a little bit of understeer that pushed Penguin off his line into the dirt and cost him a position in the process. Jens Beetsman now is going to try and catch up to Penguin and maybe even capitalize on another issue between these two drivers up front to get him in contention for a podium position. All three drivers making it nice and clean through Moss corner. Ooh, and Josh Brooks tries to send the move on the inside of Ali Yardimger there. It does not work. Probably could have a little bit, but he's going to get all of the slipstream down the Andretti straight into the S's, and he could very well send a move as we get into the S's. Doesn't look like he's going to. Looks like he is content and hoping that Calivius has a mistake, maybe capitalize on some hardware issues. Calivius' 1998 plastic ring steering wheel has been known to just lose force feedback randomly, costing him positions. So Josh might be looking to capitalize on that. Beauty, Phoenix, and Mythic in a nice three-way battle for P10. Thank you, Bright, for the bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it a 97 plastic ring? You'll have to forgive me. I was in like kindergarten when that thing was made. As Phoenix sends a nice move up the inside of Mythic and Moss. A little bit of contact there, probably incidental. And Phoenix and Beauty get around Mythic for P10 and P11 respectively. Keep in mind that Phoenix started this race in 25th and is now inside the top 10. Seems we missed that at some point Josh Brooks did manage to get around that 1997 or 96 Microsoft plastic ring and is now P7 and has his work cut out for him to try and catch the Mania before the checkered flag drops. Top three stays the same as it has been for 2 laps. Diego, Jack Olivier, and Penguin. Jens Beetsma falling off the back a little bit maybe, probably keeping his gap about the same. And Zhao will wrap out the top 5, who is chasing down Jens there as he has a bit of oversteer coming out of that last corner. Nice correction though there by Zhao. Beauty keeping it nice and tidy here. Looks like he's looking for a mistake from... as I say that, the commentator's curse gets him. He hits that inside curve. That's not going to help him. Not going to help him at all. He will surely have to keep it clean and tidy if he's hoping to overtake Phoenix, who's just had a stellar drive here to overtake more than half the field to get to the position he's in. We'll go on board with Josh as he runs down to Moss. Into the S's. No threat of him overtaking Nemanja without Nemanja making a stake. Ali falling off the back of Josh there. Diego going into turn 1 now. With 1 minute left, we will have this lap plus 1 more in this race. Diego just needs to hold on for 2 more laps. He's got a sizable gap, 2 seconds to Jack Olivier as they go into Clayton Corner. Penguin's got a gap to Jack Olivier. Sorry, the other way around. Jack Olivier's got a safe gap to Penguin of about 1 second. As Mosquito rejoins the server, looks like he's had some connection issues. And this will we will be starting the last lap of this race. We'll stay on board with Diego as he tries to keep it tidy. Try to put him on with the win. We'll go on board with him, get that nice driver view. So he keeps it nice and tight through. Clayton, as he has the whole race, not really putting a foot wrong. Only one tricky part of this track left. He's coming up on it now in the moss. He makes that look easy through there. A lot of drivers really struggle with moss in practice, so he makes that look nice and tidy. Gonna hop real quick to Penguin. He looked rather close to Jack Livia there. Probably not going to be able to send the move into the S's. This gap is getting bigger actually as we speak. So he will probably not be able to send a move. If he does, it would be very bold. Does not. Gets a little bit of oversteer there, but nothing he can't correct. As Diego crosses the line to win race 1 at Mosport. Congratulations, Diego. Jack and Penguin will round out the podium there. Your top 10 will be Diego, Jack Olivier, Penguin, Jens, Zhao, Nemanja, Josh, Ali, Tagua Patobo, and Fulinix. Of all people, starting from dead last on the grid, comes into P10. Eppley gets to capitalize the most. He finished P15 in this race and will start from from pole in the reverse grid race. So he will be looking very much to capitalize on that and win a race or two. It's a very good question at why it's a slideshow. I do not know. We'll have to figure that out eventually, or just not be streaming, because I don't know how to fix that issue. So we'll have about another 30 seconds of downtime before we start race 2. As stated before, Eppley will start on the pole. Kano locks out the front row with him. Fonseca and Mythic on row 2. Beauty and Fulinix on row 3. Tagua, Potobo, and Ali on row 4. Josh Brooks and Nemanja Popovic 5. Zhao and Jens on row 6. Penguin and Jack Olivier on row 7. Diego, our race 1 winner, will start P15. And next to him will be randomized. Vivols and Miguel Costa. Mixtrol, Thomas Cameron, followed by Honored Goat, Vessel Varudin, Manuel Farah, and Mosquito. Don't know why there's not a car on the right side there, but okay. And then, of course, the awesome Assetto Friends safety car driven by Arda. Six lights, and away we go. Eppley gets a decent start off with the run down to turn 1. As we saw in the first race, drivers were very cautious through here. Ooh, and it looks like Kano was off there. Yes, Kano is off. Multiple drivers off here in Clayton Corner. There's 3 cars off there. And another one off. And we are under safety car, it appears. No safety cars in the first race, and we will start the second race under safety car after 2 turns. Kano not getting the start he would have liked. He started P2 all the way down to P22. What's chat think? More or less than 3 safety cars in this race? What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm gonna go with the more. There's gonna be more than 3 safety cars. Guys, remember when I said I wasn't gonna do that thing that Maddie did and leave the Corvette on the grid after so that they see it when they come around? Well, I did the thing that Maddie did. Alright, Maddie, I'll keep F3 cam, even though I find it incredibly hard to follow things with F3 cam. As we are back racing, I completely missed the safety car restart there. There's no way they did a whole lap there in their safety car. It was an odd place to do a restart. Eppley looking to stay off the front. Keep a nice clean line through this whole race. Ooh, as Biomythic and Josh Brooks touch there on the exit of turn 1. Mythic was a little outside the curve there, probably still inside the track limits there. I think they were pretty loose in the past. And we are going to get a whole lap without a safety car in race 2. Kind of surprised, actually. A lot of drivers send ill-advised moves in race 2, trying to get back up to the front where they think they belong. And we end up with safety car after safety car after safety car. Our race 1 winner making moves. He's already up to P13. Oh, and that was a bad rejoin there in the background. Maka Racing, I believe that was Jack Olivier involved. 3 cars off there. Oof. As I was saying, Diego's made a couple moves. Race 1 winner started P15, already up to P12. Eppley, who started on reverse pole, is still in P1 as we go back under safety car, it appears, as the drivers are in a nice single file and not driving the speed that we would normally expect them through here. Bright really wanting Eppley to win. Just to bother Maddie, we'll go with the F5 cam on Eppley as we're under safety car. I hope you're triggered, Maddie. I hope you are. Do cockpit cam? You want cockpit cam? Since you were kind enough to donate bits, I will do cockpit cam. In fact, we'll do an onboard lap in cockpit cam when we do this safety car restart. We'll do a nice onboard cockpit cam lap. We'll go through the whole lap, corner names. And we're back racing green. Eppley gets a nice decent start. Don't know why he wanted to be on the complete inside there. He's got Tagua Patobo all over him into Clayton. Oh, and he's going to get a tap there. Tagua's going to go off track. He's now got Fulinix and Josh Brooks behind him. Fulinix having 2 great racers. Bangers for Fulinix. Starting last in the first race, getting up to P10, and he's now P2 in the reverse grid race. Don't quite know where he would have started in reverse grid, probably about P4, P5. Eppley gets probably the best line he could have through Moss Corner there as he heads onto the Andretti straight, stretching his gap to Fulinix out to a half a second as we run down to the S's. Little understeer through here. Looks like Fulinix had a little bit of understeer in his rear view mirror too. As we close out the first green flag lap after the safety car. Little oversteer correction there. Run to the line. And Eppley is still P1 from the reverse grid pole. Sliding about there. Fulinix and Josh Brooks both taking extra liberties with the outside track limits at T1 there, clearly over the curbs. I think the Assetto friend stewards really need to step up their game and start putting down big sausage curbs there so the drivers don't extend the limits. As Eppley gets another really decent line through Moss there. It's going to help him out a lot coming out of this corner onto the Andretti straight to keep Fulinix and now the 2 River Racing drivers behind him. Fulinix is not going to like that. He's going to have teammates battling for his position. Thanks for the follow. Appreciated. As we run down to the S's. We've got a nice, strong five-way battle here for the lead. Any one of these drivers could overtake it at any time. Looks like Beauty just did an overtake on Penguin in the background there. Sorry about the pause there. Eppley losing the lead out there to Fulinix. This is really going to help Fulinix out as much as possible if Eppley can stay in front of the next driver. It's not looking like he's going to. Josh Brooks is already on the outside there as they go into the Canadian Tire gantry with the run down to the S's. Unfortunately, Josh... Oh! And they touch. They touch. Doesn't look like much. That looks like some quality touring car driving. Josh Brooks probably going to think otherwise. But again, as long as Eppley can stay P2, it's really going to help Fulinix out. Fulinix is going to have the pace to run away from Eppley if he's holding up these other drivers. It'll help him out to maintain the win. We've got probably about 3 more laps of this race left. And if River Racing wants to have a chance at a win here, they really need to clear Eppley in that shell car as soon as possible. Thank you, Peter, for the follow. See what Josh Brooks can do into... Sorry, correction. Jens is the leading River Racing car after that collision of sorts with Eppley in the S's last time. See what he can do as they run down the Andretti straight. Really going to want to clear him before the end of this lap to have a chance at catching Fulinix. As he's on the outside now. Don't think he learned the lesson of his teammate. As he understeers and gets in the grass, that's not going to help him. Carried a little too much speed there. And Josh Brooks is now caught back up to him. And Tagua Patobo disconnects from the server. Don't quite know exactly where he was at when he did disconnect. I'm sure that he was looking for some kind of result. He did put in a moderate amount of practice, I think. Lots of close driving here. This GT4 car has been really good for AF3. Nice change of pace after multiple seasons of doing front-wheel drive cars. Have a nice rear-wheel drive car that you can muscle around. Ali Yardinger has a really bad line through Moss there. Puts that rear tire onto the curb, breaks the rear end loose. He's going to have to deal with Martin Beauty as they run down the Andretti straight into the S's. Surely Beauty's going to get the overtake completed. Whether or not he can complete that overtake and hold on to it is a different story. Jens and Eppley briefly changed positions there. Looks like Eppley is able to get that position back. All over the back end of that yellow Porsche in front of him on the inside in T1 now. Eppley's just doing a phenomenal job of defending here. Trying to maintain that P2. As Fulinix has extended his gap to 1.7 seconds on P2. Looks like Eppley's really starting to struggle with some tire wear and some grip issues here. He's got that river racing car all over his rear bumper. Surprised that yellow car isn't turning green. Jens and Kekkonen flashbacks. Yeah. Does give you some flashbacks. We'll go look at where Phoenix is at here. Just 10 seconds left on the timer. He might make it to the line before. I don't know. Not looking like it. We will have one more lap. As time now expires, this will be the start of the final lap for Phoenix. Again, I apologize for the pause there. This is the final lap of the race. Phoenix has a clear victory on his hands. All he has to do is maintain it. As our safety car driver now rejoins the server. Must have missed that he disconnected at some point. Oh, and Jens gets into Eppley there, slides about, and as a result takes out Polybius and Peng Yuquin in the British Heart Foundation car. That will surely be reported. I was mistaken. Was that Jens? It might have been Josh Brooks that got into Eppley there. Or he might have been a casualty of Jens getting into Eppley. I don't believe he had overtaken his teammate. Jens does finally clear Eppley, but he's also got Beauty on the outside of the penultimate corner. Will not be able to make any kind of move stick. The winner of this race will be Phoenix, followed by Jens and Beauty to round out the podium. Have to pull some of these drivers in here to have a word about this race. So again, Phoenix wins, followed by Jens and Beauty to round out the podium. Eppley and Josh Brooks round out your top 5. Jack Olivier, Vivols, Miguel Costa, Ali Yadamja, and By Mythic round out the top 10. A lot of drivers not going to be happy about that last lap there. They lost several positions. Peng Yuquin was running in the top 5 all the way down to P14. Really not going to be happy about that. See who we can pull into the streaming chat here and get a word with. Grab Diego, our race 1 winner. Good evening, Diego. Congratulations on your race 1 win. How do you feel about that one?
Well, I didn't expect it, to be honest. I've been very busy lately and I haven't much time to practice, but I guess I know this track pretty well from 2 seasons ago. So yeah, that really helped me a lot.
Yeah, you had a banger of a race there. Kept it nice and tidy the whole race. Never really put a foot out of line. That whole race was really clean from all the drivers. You just did the best out of them. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
What do you think, chat? Should we grab the River Racing guys and see what happened there on that last lap? It's probably their fault, right? Or how about we just drop into the League Racing chat and see what all of the drivers have to say?
I'm going to
Good
get a penalty
evening,
for this
everybody.
bike
We are
because
live
it's
on
so
Twitch.
annoying. He's just moving every braking zone.
Well, if he moves like two, or if he's
Yeah, but
moving
it's-
under braking, if he's moving under braking, or if he's moving more than
I
twice,
believe they're
then yeah,
talking about it now.
Yes,
I'm-
by
no,
all
It wasn't that.
means,
It wasn't that.
have to advert.
by all means, just report it. We'll look at it. Just calm down. It's not
yeah,
that
I know.
serious, guys.
I know I'm bad, but you don't have to mention it every 20 seconds.
Well, let's check it now. Let's get the record completely straight and just make sure it's the right person being blamed for this.
sorry.
Apparently,
Hello?
Or you can just
apparently
blame me
the
for
drivers
everything,
were
as you always do.
very vocal in the voice chat tonight.
You know that's not true.
Josh, when do you want to set up the more debate?
It's just annoying because I'm going to get a penalty for this.
Both Juan and Redacted are coming in here with no context about what has been said before this.
Don't worry.
Yes, and I would like to remind everybody we are live on Twitch right now.
That's cool.
Okay.
Are you watching it?
Yes, we're looking.
I have a replay up on a stream from me of the final lap.
Could you upload the replay, Josh? Because in your
Soon.
replay we can see the laps.
Yeah.
I should be good to upload the record.
I will do, yes, I will do.
God, thunder.
Okay, just wait.
Right, so this is... Okay, riding on board with me.
This was actually really cool. Like the racing there was really fucking cool.
That was. I had a front row seat to this. It was great.
Yeah, yeah.
We
I've never
we
had a
followed
more
this for
stressful
quite some
race
time
in
on the
Assetto
stream.
Corsa ever before.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I'll admit, Eppley made this race super exciting.
I'm gonna be honest. It was far from enjoyable for me.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's on you, mate.
Did he break? Or
Is there a
just
break?
turn
I'm not
into
sure if
you?
I can see a break.
Or did
Yeah,
just?
I
No,
break.
I don't
I
think it's
break. I break.
He
Let me
Open
he
the
say
pedals.
lifted.
Go-
He
go to
didn't
his-
break.
Go to his car and just open
I
the
braked
pedals.
there. I braked there because I
Oh,
was
you
completely
braked.
off the line, and if I wouldn't have braked, I would have been straight into the wall.
No.
Well,
No,
but
you
it-
can leave.
If
Uh,
in hindsight, easing off would have been a better option. Eppley,
Yeah.
Yes, but
I think,
well,
rather than
that's
braking,
okay.
because
in any
braking
case, like,
provides causes more violent movements.
But I think that it's Josh that went into you because I think he
No.
understood
Or we can
just a
just
bit.
skip this
Okay,
conversation
wait,
and
wait,
you can
hang
just
on.
follow me to
He's
the last
on the
position,
very
like
inside.
you
Josh
always
is on
do.
the
Oh,
very
okay,
inside
And
the
that's
whole time.
everything
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah, okay, just calm down.
Yeah.
Can we look at it again?
Here it
Yeah,
is from slow motion.
please.
Go higher up, like the camera.
All
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying is I've lost the lead in the championship because of this.
Pain.
I'll confirm that. I'll get the results sorted as soon as we're done with the
We'll
replay.
see. Full Enix might have two overtakes under safety car, so we'll see that, I guess.
Not sure.
You might
but-
not lose the lead of the championship actually
Sick
because I
drift,
finished
though.
far away in
Nicely
the
saved.
second race and I got penalties. I think so.
And that answers that question. That
Yeah,
yes,
but
it
you still
was
finished
Yen
like
to,
you did
uh,
Oh, Ali, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished
my
fifth,
God,
but I have a bad rejoin, so
I
I
would-
probably get a heavy
Breaking
penalty.
mid-
Oh no!
Yeah,
You know,
Ali.
On the grass. Okay, I thought people didn't hit me. People definitely hit me.
You know, when we watched this live on the stream, I thought that the incident between Ali and Penguin was directly caused by Jens and Eppley. That
Oh,
was
Beeble!
clearly not the
Getting
case.
scot-free. Oh,
Clearly
Beebles.
not the case.
Jack took my position from that.
Yes.
That should have been a VSC on its own, but
Yeah.
I'm
I think
curious
that was out.
why. Yeah, I'm curious why the VSC was deployed on the final lap.
Because we don't do that, do we?
Odd choice. It's an odd choice, but I'm interested to see why. I'm open to it. If it's
Josh, I was
well,
there
yeah.
for
What
the
do you
back.
mean? Is there a rule that we can't deploy on the last lap?
No,
I
there
mean,
isn't a rule that
what
we can.
point
There isn't a
is
rule,
it?
exactly.
There isn't a rule
But-
that we can, but in Sachsenring it happened to me that I was going to pull out SC because someone crashed in the final lap, but Josh came out and said, no, don't pull it.
I think this gets
Like,
even more crazy because here we go. I'm going to switch to Eppley again.
Massive accident.
Use control 1 and control 3.
It does get more crazy. I can tell you beyond a reasonable doubt that is the case. Because Jens and Beauty both get around before the finish line.
Oh, that isn't
Oh,
good.
punt and dump.
The good old P2P, punt to pass.
Eppley comes back well, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
he's already been out on the back of Jens and
But-
Martin.
He did.
Well,
Eppley,
that's,
gotta give him props. Had a great drive. Was actually going to pull
He
him
did.
in
He
for,
did.
for
Yeah,
an interview.
Eppley, I want to say, like, you did drive well, but very aggressively.
Yeah, I think
Very aggressively.
adrenaline kicked in, and like this is like fight or flight. It doesn't get more intense than having me, Jens, and Beauty all on your ass for 15 minutes. So, and for Linux, so props.
I can confirm that Linux is quite the nervous guy to have behind. It's super fun to race him.
I saw Eppley and Felipe were about to go side by side. I was like, okay, I'm going to hang back. And I told Jens, hang back. Hold on. This might turn into something.
And then nothing happened.
And then nothing happened. It was a clean overtake. I was like, shit, that hasn't worked. I got to do it the old-fashioned way.
What?
Juan is talking in tongues.
Language?
I don't know. I'm just way too fucking tired because of school.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to go and close out the stream, and I'll join you in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, everybody. That was a great AF3 race there at Mosport. AF3 will be off next weekend. There will not be a Friday night race. We will have a 1-week break before AF3 returns. I believe at Jerez in Spain. Yes, that is the case. July 2nd, same time as tonight. AF3 will be back in the Porsche GT4 at Spain. Tomorrow, to close out this weekend, we have AF4 round 1 of season 7 at the Red Bull Ring National layout. That's the shorter layout. Tomorrow at 1600 UTC, 4 p.m. will be the start time for qualifying for that. There will be a 3-hour qualifying period. That's just open qualifying that will not be streamed all of, if any at all. And the race will start sometime around 1900 UTC, and there will be 2 20-minute races in the same format that we used last season. And the new car for that is the Skoda Octavia. Directly following the AF4 race, we have AFX, that's the Experimental League, Season 1, Premier Race, Round 1 at Adelaide. The 2016 layout of Adelaide, I believe, is what it was. The start time for that is, for practice, is 6 p.m. There will be a 15-minute qualifying period after the practice and a 30-minute race, and that will be in the modified version of the MX-5 Cup car that's been lightly modified and been made a sequential shifted car that we'll see several of our very talented drivers racing in. That's the first race of that league, first season. And I don't believe AF1 is racing on Sunday. They are not. They have another week off before they premiere. So that will round out our weekend, but we will have our weekly races both days. So come and check those out. Good night, everybody.